Hey everybody, this is John, and welcome to the free video for the weekend. So it's kind of this is just a 30-minute chart of the S&PX, and you can kind of see that we kind of ended up where very close to where we kind of started the week, and this has been fairly normal, where we've been getting some price pressure about one standard deviation above, one standard deviation below, sucking all the call buyers, sucking all the put buyers, and then beat them both over the head with a stick at expiration. And this has been something, it's a pattern that we've seen that's fairly common. You've seen this in Apple as well. Apple the prior week was under a lot of selling pressure and then kind of popped up and kind of stayed in a range and ended up pinning right around $95. Another one, and this is a one that we did a play on, which was pretty good, was Wynn. And Wynn initially in the week kind of came down. And this is something that I've found that's just very common. It's like, all right, let's come down. Let's just, it's the end of the world. Let's break support. And then they kind of come right back up and make sure that, all the puts below 88 expire worthless. Another one here is Google. And Google is one that I like for next week. So you can see here kind of a sell-off. Let's suck in all the put buyers, kind of rip their head off. I do like the idea here, though, that Google could actually pop into early next week. And then another stock that I like as we head into next week is Tesla. Tesla is one of those where it doesn't necessarily have to make sense. It's just that this is a stock that continues to have a very high short interest and sucked in a lot of shorts down here around the 206, 207 level. You can see high volume, high put call ratios, and now it is time to rip their head off. So I do like that in terms of the prospects for some pricing next week. And then if we kind of step back here and look at some weekly charts, I wanted to take a look at the dollar index. Is the dollar index here kind of poised to explode? There's been a lot of talk about how strong it has been over the last week, especially ever since the minutes came out. Keep in mind, strength is kind of relative. I mean, this was a huge squeeze we had in the dollar in the middle of last year, and that was a game changer on a lot of different areas. At this point, we're kind of in a quiet mode where we did have a light squeeze to the downside, had some downside pressure there. We've recently turned higher, and at this point, I'm looking for a little bit of strength. And the minutes that came out were a little bit more hawkish than people were expecting. The dollar isn't necessarily exploding out of the gate here. So the big question here then is, well, what about some of the dependent markets that are dependent here on a weak dollar, for example, crude oil? Well, crude oil right now isn't phased by it, and so I think there's going to be some interesting opportunities in the next week. First of all, especially if the dollar pulls back, but the main point here is that with the dollar strong, oil's not batting an eye, and we're going to be definitely looking at some oil stocks for next week. One of the ones I like is the triple leveraged ETF EWTI, and you can see it kind of is. This is one where on a weekly chart, it's kind of hard to do it justice. But if you scale down to a daily chart, you can see kind of the, the movements here. I mean, not too long ago, this was a $12 stock. Here we are at $35. I am looking for this thing to continue going to the top of this current LRC channel. All right, so for those of you that don't know, we do have a live event coming up June 26th to the 28th. There are a few spots left for it. We limit this to 50 people. It's more of a premier, kind of a mentoring type event. And the link for this is simplertrading.com/Austin. So the important part of this is that we have an early bird special that ends this weekend, okay? This is something where if you would like to take advantage of this, there's a couple of cool things you can do. Also, if you have gone to one of our live events before, keep an eye out in your inbox because there is an additional bonus for those of you guys that have done this before. If you're thinking about doing it again, there's a very attractive bonus for you as well. At this point, it's a little over 3/4 of the way filled. It always sells out, and now we're getting down to about 6 weeks before the class, and just want to make sure that we've got all the spots secure for the people that want them. But the idea with this is that it is a mentoring type event. You do get to meet other traders. We're going to be doing one day of kind of more instruction, followed by live trading for 2 days, which will be a lot of fun. There's also going to be a lot of pretty cool people in attendance in terms of a hedge fund manager, world banker. I mean, it's actually going to be a really awesome group, and this is going to be live in Austin. And as you're going through here, you can just kind of scroll down and see all the highlights. We're all going to be working together there, which is going to be great. Here's the schedule of events. And right now, this is the early bird price is $39.97. This will be going up to $49.97 at the end of this weekend, or I think it's Monday at midnight. So if you would like to do this, this is the time to do it. Kind of knock $1,000 off the price, put that in your pocket, and use it on a trade. All right. So real quick again, that link is simplertrading.com/Austin. Would love to have you join us there. It's a great event. This is not sure when we're going to do the next live event. We usually just do 2 a year, and this is already the second one. So, and this Austin, what we found is in Austin here, we found a place at the AT&T Center where the internet at the AT&T Center is really good. It's part of the University of Texas. You got stadium seating, 300 megs up, 300 megs down. You can trade. Okay, so it's pretty awesome that way. All right, guys, you guys have a good weekend. For those of you that are coming to Austin, looking forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next update.